Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're going to be talking about many different types of scams out there. So, just today I was going through a bunch of my unapproved YouTube comments that YouTube filters out, and it was literally all scams. So, with that being said, I wanted to do a quick video where I was talking about some of the examples of scams that I see, as well as a lot of the things that you really need to look out for, because this can happen to anyone. I've been scammed. I have friends who almost got scammed recently. I have friends who are getting into scams today. There's so much out there that this just really needs to be made. And I have to get this, out into the ether and, said once and for all, so that once these people do find that these are scams, maybe they will come back, review this video, and actually, think about this a little bit more, because people get trapped up in these things because of several things, right? Like, they want to get rich quickly. So you're looking for all these sketchy ways to do it, and you come upon one that looks like it's working, or, people have said it works. And one of the most important things you have to be aware of is a scam wouldn't be a good scam if it wasn't believable, or, you didn't make a little bit of money at first, or whatever it happens to be, right? People say, yeah, but it works. Of course. For some people, it's got to work for a certain amount of time. Only certain people it'll work and others it won't. Whatever it happens to be, it's got to be somewhat believable to be a good scam. Right? We've evolved way beyond, spam emails that are asking you to send like some money to some random person in some random country, right? We're at the point where it's like, you've got a lot of things that could be borderline legit, but it's gotta fail at some point. And, if it's an actual scam, obviously, but scams work until they don't. And it's as simple as that. A scam will work until it doesn't work. And then that's why it's a scam, because all the people who believed originally gave their money to this thing. And then they took all that money, obviously. So, you gotta think about a lot of these things too. Like, when they're promising crazy amounts of returns or money or whatever it happens to be, think about how that's possible. Like, how is this person doing all this stuff? And if you were able to, for example, get 1% a day, you could just be a billionaire and you wouldn't have to sell a course or waste any of your time doing this stuff. Normally, these people are making exponentially more money off of you than they are off of the thing that they claimed they were doing so well with, right? And that's what people don't understand, is that the real, success hack is getting you to give them your money. That's their success. That's what it really is. It's not the thing that they're telling you they're successful about, because they could just do that, right? If I was an amazingly successful crypto trader and I was getting millions of dollars, every month or something, like, why would I need to sell that? Why would I even need to dedicate more time to selling that? I could just, give away those tips for free. Like, there would be no reason to even be so greedy about it and be like, oh, well, I need to charge so that you have value and not everyone gets. It's like, come on, man. You got to think about these things. You got to think them through. No one's just giving away stuff for free out of the goodness of their heart to other rich investors, So let's actually get into this, because there's quite a bit to cover. And before I actually just go through everything, because I don't have examples of every scam, but I wanted to bring up a couple different examples of different things going on. So if I navigate over to my comment section here, you can see that everything in the comment section that that is held for review is a scam. And let's go through a couple examples, right? I'm not even going to block out these people's names, because there's no way that these are real accounts. So, yeah. So for example, here, this person is talking about how this other person, not them, right? It's not even themselves. It's like, oh, I made millions of dollars with this one person and I like them so much that now I spend all of my spare time going around advertising on their behalf for free. Who, what, why, who would do this? And that's every single one of them, right? It's this long thing about how they made a bunch of money and it was really just because they listened to this super smart trader and this one trader changed their entire life and they're so happy about it that they want you to go and contact that person, as you can see here, right? It's always like this, or it's a comment thread where they're like, it seems legit at first because they're just like, I've had so much success with trading. Thanks for the video, Scott. And then a fake person comments underneath, oh, really? Like, how well have you done? And then the second person says, oh, I got 15 Bitcoin. It's so amazing. How did you do that? Oh, well, I contacted this trader and here's their contact information. So that feels a little more genuine because they actually had this little conversation, but everyone in the conversation is a bot. So it's basically the same thing as these. Basically, any kind of claims of, epic success and that you just need to contact this person, insert X contact information. If you see this in a comment of someone unrelated on social media, 99.999% likely a scam, right? Because again, why would you get all this success and then watch my video on crypto investing and then say, but by the way, like, don't bother with any of this, actual useful advice on crypto. Instead, contact this random person because I do free advertising for them every day in the comment sections of people's YouTube videos. There's another one that I see a lot on Twitter lately where it's just like, thanks, Elon Musk, for giving me, thousands and thousands of dollars of Bitcoin as a comment on my post. Why would you thank Elon Musk in the comment section on my Twitter? So that's pretty obvious, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't have to advertise on Elon's behalf if that was real, right? So all of those are scams because what they all are is give me money and I'll give you more money. That's the easiest type of scam, right? Ignore all that stuff. That's just insanity. Another one that is popping up, which is less obvious, but I've seen this myself a lot recently, is YouTube ads that lead to live, quote unquote, live videos. So what I've seen lately, I've seen Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, and I've seen Elon Musk being used. They have 2-year-old live panel, 2-3 hour Q&As. So it's just random stuff. It's not really live, but it looks live because it's just people are asking questions. They're just talking. It's very casual. And at the bottom or the top of the screen, it'll say, send this much ETH to this address. Vitalik is doing a giveaway. Send this much ETH to this address and you'll get this much back. Again, very, very obviously a scam. You should never just give money in hopes to get money. But it seems so legit because it's it's with Vitalik and he's doing this live. And It's well, you could go and search this up and find out that he's not actually doing this live. Even if they somehow were doing this live, the account that is streaming it has nothing to do with the official, people. So obviously, again, that is not legit, but there's many people who fall for this as well because it looks set up very legitimately and it's ending at the end of this live stream. So everyone's super quick. Oh, I got to figure this out. Got to send them my stuff. And that's another big thing with scams, right? Is having a time countdown or, it's just very, very short amount of time for you to actually get in, or it's you have to do this as soon as possible or else it's completely off the table. These are some common things for scams, right? So we'll talk about 2 more different types of scams. I don't have any more examples to share with you, so I'm just going to be reading off of this, and then I'm going to go through the red flags that you should really look for to avoid a lot of this stuff yourself. And I've done other videos where I've more specifically talked about crypto projects and red flags for crypto projects. This is more so 100% this thing that you're going to get into is a scam. A lot of the crypto stuff that I've talked about was more like sketchy, or I didn't like what they were doing. They weren't 100%, a scam where no matter what, they're taking your money and you're losing money. The things that we're talking about today is exactly that. And this isn't necessarily crypto related, but it definitely can be. So with that being said, we'll jump into the other two examples here, and then I'll get into the red flag. So another example is Forex trading. Now, while I'm sure there are a lot of legitimate Forex traders, the problem is that almost everything I see around, Forex courses, trading bots, whatever it happens to be, almost everything I see is a scam. To that point, a buddy of mine recently was going to invest in a Forex thing because they were promising guaranteed results of like 20+% a month on your original investment, which is outrageous, because if you could get 20% on your original investment, you could be a millionaire like very, very quickly. And so could they, which is why you would wonder why they would even need your money to begin with. And essentially what they were saying was, we're going to give you 20% a month, and it's going to just go right into your bank account. There's going to be no problems, but you have to pay with Bitcoin. We're not even using Bitcoin in this. It's Forex, right? So this is just trading currencies. But for some reason, the only way that you can invest in this, the only way that you can pay is Bitcoin. Now, that's the sketchiest thing I've ever heard of, because why would you need Bitcoin to trade Forex? That doesn't even convert. So that doesn't really make sense that you would only accept Bitcoin. The only reason you would only accept Bitcoin is because you're planning on pulling the rug on these people, or more simply, they were just giving you back a little bit of your own Bitcoin that had massively gone up in value. And then eventually, you take out your original money and you call it quits or whatever, or you put in way more money and then they scam you. So it's either, a lot of these scams, how they work out is, whether it's Forex or anything, if they actually are giving you money, it's the beginning of the scam, right? So they're giving you a little bit of money. And then once you finally say, okay, this is doing so well, I'm going to put a bunch of money in and get a ton of money. Then they just keep all that and then it's done, right? And if they're only accepting crypto, it's very easy for them to just close up and just, hide all the transactions, mix it, do whatever, and then get away with your money. It doesn't make sense that a Forex trading company would only accept crypto. Here's some obvious reasons. There's a lot of friction going from crypto back to fiat, and then, having all that unnecessary extra work when you could just get the regular money that you needed to trade and then gone from there. B, if you're actually trying to be a successful company, then why are you getting people to buy Bitcoin, which very few people actually own, and then those people are going to invest in your company? That's such a small fraction of people that it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to attract many customers at all. Instead, you would just obviously allow anyone to use any method of payment so that you could get as many customers as possible to make the most money possible. Why would you limit your customer base? Well, it's simple. They're limiting their customer base so that they can just get the crypto and then get out, right? Never, ever go for something when they only accept crypto, especially when they're not even trading cryptocurrency. Say you're going into a potential crypto scam and they only accept crypto. That makes sense, right? If you're doing a stock scam or Forex and they're still only accepting crypto, that doesn't make any sense at all. And then just all the different things, right? 20% guaranteed, that's not real, right? That's not possible. If they were getting that, they would just do that for themselves. There'd be no reason to offer that to other people. You're not even going to make more money by doing that. It just doesn't make sense. And it just would put a lot of attention your way that you wouldn't want. We're trying to figure out how you're doing this. So naturally, you would want to just do this yourself. And you wouldn't be giving away these secrets. And they always claim, it's out of the goodness of their heart and they just want to share this with the world and they're so generous and that's why they have to charge you a bunch of money for it. And then the last scam that I have as an example here, there's a million obviously, but this is a big one to watch out for because a friend of mine just got into this and it's called signals trading groups, right? While there might be legit ones, like this is what it is. There's a trader and, they're making some good trades. And then they decide to let others know about the trades they're making exclusively via people who pay them. So for example, say I put out all of my trades basically for free, but it's like, a month after it happens or whatever. But then I started to say, you know what, if you want to make the same trades that I'm doing because I'm doing so well, you can pay me $20 a month as a subscription. And for that subscription, I will give you the access to the trades that I am making. And that's what these people do. And then, well, there's a few scenarios that happens from this, right? The unlikely scenario is that they're just giving this information out and everyone's just benefiting and everyone's making just tons of money. And it's as simple as that. The more realistic scenario is once you've got enough people following you, if you say invest in this thing and you invested first, naturally, if you have enough people following you, they themselves investing in the thing that you've suggested will move it on their own. So what these people tend to do is they invest in small cap assets. So like stocks, crypto, whatever, but very small market cap, small volume so that their, followers will be the ones who will actually move all of the, the amount because, say you're trading a cryptocurrency and it's only trading at like $1,000 of volume a day. And then you get your whole follower, like your whole posse of followers, and they all invest in this thing, over 24 hours, and it goes from $1,000 to $200,000 worth of volume. Naturally, that cryptocurrency or that stock or whatever it happens to be, it's going to go up in value, but it's not going to last because as soon as everyone gets out, it's going to be done. It's a pump and dump. So the problem here is that the person who's running this is going to come out first. They're going to get all the money. And then if you're lucky enough to be, quick and following their trades or, they don't have a secondary insider group that gets notified first, then you finally get the notification and then you sell out and hope that you're quick enough that you're not the last person selling out because the people who are selling out later on are the ones holding the bag because either it's now dropped so much in value that they've lost money, they haven't gained any money at all, or they're so low volume now that no one is even willing to buy it right now because there's so little volume and you've got so much or whatever it happens to be. You as the user who's paying or following this, because sometimes they're for free, because they're going to benefit, right? Again, it's not just for free, but you will be left holding the bag and you will be left with that stock or that cryptocurrency and you will be the one who has to deal with that. And the person will continue on. From the outside view, it was successful. They were correct. They said it was going to go up. It went up. Look at how great of an investor they are. No, it's just that they made that happen with their community because they have enough people. So then you think, well, if they can make it move, then why not? I mean, if they can make it move, I can still make money. Yeah, but you still have to be, in their group, in the right spot. Say, more people buy this or sell this or other people get involved in this pump and dump outside of your group and things could change very quickly. Or, you're too slow and you don't get your money out. You lose a lot of money. There's other examples with signal groups where someone is really just paying for someone else's signal group and then they're just deferring all that information to you and then you're paying them for like secondhand information that was already sold to other people and it's just being repackaged for you. So again, that's a scam as well, but it might just be a scam of a scam. So now you've got like scamception going on for a lot of these signals groups. And most of it is just volume, right? They just need as many people as possible to make that price move. They need as many people as possible in the groups so that you believe that that's possible, or there's just so much people that's like, how can this not be legit? There's so many people who are following this. like when I talked to my friend about it today and I said, like, do not do this. Most of these are scams. He said, look, it's just a group of people like you and me and they want to invest. So how do you know who these people are? How do you know anything about any of this? It's like, you don't know any of these people. It's so anonymized. There's no accountability. You might make a few good trades, and it might work because obviously, like I said, they might actually just make the stuff move with their community, but it's not sustainable. It's not reliable. It's not safe. And it's meant to funnel you into the paid group anyways, which he has said, oh, well, I'm fine to pay $20 a month since this is working out so well. Well, if it's working out so well, then why pay $20 a month? You could just keep doing what you're doing, no? But, I mean, this isn't to like make fun of him, right? This is because I'm very concerned because this is what most people probably think. And it all comes back down to the mentality of, I want to get rich quickly. And that's how you get taken advantage of. So let's get into the red flags, right? So some of the red flags I've already mentioned. They only accept crypto as payment for something. You know what? I'll just share my screen for this so you guys can kind of follow along. They only accept crypto as payment for something non-crypto related, like Forex. Obviously a scam, right? They want you to contact someone else and they are advertising for them for free, which is what I mentioned with YouTube. Like no one goes and advertises for someone else for free in my comment section out of the goodness of their heart because they made so much money and now they just want to spend all their free time that they could have otherwise been enjoying that money or making more money. Instead, they just spend it paying back thanks to that person by advertising it to the world. You want to, they have you send money first and then they'll send you money back or whatever it happens to be. That's obviously a scam. You should not be paying, to make money. They are doing so well that they've decided to build a course or, whatever it happens to be for you to buy in to gain their secrets. Most of these people are making more money off of the course, off of you, than they are off of the thing that you were convinced to buy the course because of, right? They guarantee results, right? You're guaranteed 20% a month, which is insane. You're guaranteed this amount, for this amount of hours worked. Work 4 hours a week and make $10,000 a week. The results they say you should expect are unrealistic. Again, you only work 4 hours a week, but somehow you make $10,000 a week. That's insane. That's $40,000 a month. That's insane. And anything like that should not be believed, right? Even if someone was telling you, I can guarantee that we'll make you 2.5% per month. Like you can't guarantee results because there's going to be bad months. Right now we're in a bull market for stocks and crypto, more or less. So a lot of these things could just be random picks and they'll make money. Like this guy could go up to a dartboard, throw a dart, whatever it lands on. He goes to the signals group. He says, everyone, we're buying this. Everyone buys it. It goes up. Everyone makes money. They say, this is legit. This is amazing. But then when it's a bear market, and say maybe you make money with like Forex or signals or whatever for a while, maybe for 6 months or something. And then it becomes a bear market. And then every trade you end up holding the bag and you're like, but this has been going so well. I gotta keep believing this person, gotta trust this. Yeah, it's very easy to do well in a bull market when everything is going up. But when things actually become, challenging, you're going to have it's not going to be this great. It's not going to have all these gains all the time. Like my friends who are new to investing, and I would consider myself an amateur as well, but they think that they know like what stocks are going to go up and when crypto is going to go up and down. And they think that they know the future because they've been making money on this bull market and then believing that because they've got these great picks and they're doing so well that is going to just keep happening forever and ever, and that they're this like genius investor, basically. A lot of people are going to get into this fallacy thinking this over the past like year and probably for the next year in these bull markets. If we keep having everything going up in value, that people are going to believe that they're just really good at making picks and they're going to just, do all these kinds of crazy things. But that's not necessarily scams. That's just bad investing. And I will go over my rules for investing very soon in a future episode. So, claims of getting rich with little to no work involved, like I said, 4 hours of work a week, but you're going to make $10,000, only shows social proof, but not real proof. So, this person made $1 million, this person made $1 million, check out this person's trade, but not actually like proof. Like, they're not actually going to show you the actual trades that they made and all these different things. They'll tell you, or they'll have other people tell you, and they'll obviously not tell you of all the terrible trades where all the people lost money, but they'll only really use social proof. They won't give you actual access to any official data or anything like that, because then it would be obvious that it's a scam, and that they're making most of their money off of you, which is always the case, right? They are doing this whole thing out of the goodness of their heart, and they have nothing to gain from this, but you still have to pay, because then it wouldn't have value otherwise, or everyone would have access, or whatever it happens to be. But for some reason, you have to pay money to get this thing from them. Even though they're giving it away out of the goodness of their heart, you still have to give them money. That's pretty easily a sign of a scam. It's mainly based on referrals. That's very obvious. Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme. You cannot withdraw money anytime that you want. And usually you wouldn't actually know that's the case until you've started. So a good example of this was the thing that my friend was going to get into, Forex. A lot of Forex are things where it's like, you give them Bitcoin and then they give you regular US dollars or Canadian dollars once a month with 20% promised returns, et cetera, et cetera. Even if that was legit and they were paying that out, and then you were like, okay, well, can I get my Bitcoin back? They'd say, well, no, we can give you the equal amount of your money in regular dollars, or we can give you half because, or we can give you a tiny percent because the rest is locked up in trades or whatever it happens to be. And you say, you know what, it's fine. Just take the loss. I'll just, get my, 95% of my money or whatever. And they say, well, no, because it's in other trades and they're all locked up together and da-da-da. And eventually you'll get to the point where they're just going to say, no, we're not going to give you your money back. And it's as simple as that. And the worst thing that is also somewhere in here, it's the next one, is that if you don't get stopped here, what's going to happen later is usually they're going to say, well, we actually need more money from you to keep this thing going or whatever. But if you pull out now, we can only give you half of your money back. But if you stay in, then eventually you get all of your money in the future, but you have to put in more money now. And then people get into this sunk cost fallacy where they're like, well, look, I've already put this much in. I might as well just put a little bit more in and then I can get it all back. Different things like that is just getting you deeper and deeper rooted into the scam, to the point where someone like me might just tell you that you're in a scam and you've sunk so much money that you refuse to believe that could even be possible, because otherwise it means you're financially ruined if you were to accept what I'm saying. So naturally they get you deeper and deeper so that you don't even want to get out. And you will, you'll fight other people on this who are trying to help you because you're trying to, not believe that that's actually happening to you, and you get stuck in that sunk cost fallacy. Any email related stuff, if that's even a question, email related things offering you free money or you're going to make money, just come on. We're way past spam emails, right? If you are desperate or vulnerable, or, you need some finances, you're really desperate, you're in a bad place, you are much more susceptible to this stuff because, you see something get rich quick or whatever it happens to be, that's going to be much more attractive to you. And they are specifically trying to target those types of people. So if you're in that place, that's a red flag for yourself, not for the scam. They offer to let you pay in an unorthodox way, like gift cards. The transaction has to happen right away. They want you to perform the transaction in an unusual way. And, or they're not public facing, or they can't be reached easily outside of, whatever you're contacting them on. Like, say they're talking to you on Telegram and you say, let's call or let's video chat or whatever it happens to be. No, I can't do that. No, sorry. No. That's obviously a pretty big red flag. So what are my recommendations with all this stuff? Do not look for get rich quick schemes. You will attract scams, right? Me looking for all of these like scams and like watching channels like CoffeeZilla, I get like every ad I ever see now is a scam, which is hilarious. But any kind of, entrepreneur, like trying to look for investing or get rich or, all these different things, you're going to get targeted directly with scams in ads. So, that is something to look out for. And just in general, if you are looking for ways to make a lot of money, side hustles, passive income, get rich, stock trading bots, all that stuff, you are going to be very susceptible to these things because that's where you're going to find all this stuff. You're going to be looking for something legit and you're going to end up with something illegitimate. And you'll do that by looking for these kinds of things. What you should be doing is you should aim to build wealth long term, and that will help you avoid scams because you won't be looking through all these sketchy things of getting rich quickly and how to double your wealth in 1 month and all this crazy stuff. If you're just looking to build your wealth legitimately, long term, and the right way, you won't run into any of that because you won't be looking for it and it won't cross your path. Always do your own research and always have a healthy dose of skepticism. This is pretty obvious, but it's very, very, it's not really followed very well. Most people just get super excited when they see some crazy scam and they don't really do much research and they don't really look into it. They just get super excited and they just jump right in. You should be skeptical right off the bat. There is no guaranteed results or, do this in only a couple hours a week and all this crazy stuff. And why are they giving it to you specifically? And what's so special about you to be getting this amazing offer that's going to make you a millionaire? Like, think through that, right? The Dunning-Kruger effect is very real, and people who tend to know very little about something believe that they know a lot and thus make uninformed decisions. I do crypto and finance and stuff, and I do this every day, many hours a day, and I don't consider myself an expert. So when people who are new to this stuff come to me and they tell me like they know everything and and it's like they know what this is going to be and this is going to be, and I know that I don't know that stuff, that's how I know that that's going on, because that's insane and there's no way. A lot of people get this and, it's natural, but you've really got to be self-aware in knowing that, if you're reading articles on Bitcoin every day for a week, you're not magically an expert now. And that the price is going to go up or down in the next week. None of that, right? Just stick with blue chip stocks, well-known cryptocurrencies. Avoid most of these issues just by sticking with quality things that are well-known and have performed well in the past, and not just doing all these random crazy risky bets. I mean, crypto is already really risky. There's no reason to like triple, quadruple down your risk and going for the crazy cryptocurrencies that, no one's ever heard of before. And again, like I was talking before, low volume, low market cap stuff is very, very easily pumped and dumped. So the last thing I have is take promotional and sponsored content with a grain of salt. And more importantly, watch out for content that seems like it might be promotional, where they don't even disclose that it is, right? Because I know of big influencers who do this, and they do not disclose that they're being paid, but I know they are getting paid. I don't have the evidence to prove that this is the case, but I know it's happening. And these people are getting completely wrecked with their finances by following their advice. And it's just very, very sketchy. And I don't want people to have a bad experience with crypto or stock investing or any of these things. But a lot of people who are very new to these spaces jump into these spaces, and then, they have the Dunning-Kruger effect because they made a few good buys, and then, it's in a bull market, so they think they're a genius now, and they start doing all this really crazy stuff. Or, you're wanting to learn more, but instead of learning more, you're looking for like hacks and tips, and you get into a signals group, which is like a way to cheat without actually learning. But then, you get left holding the bag for something, or it's a scam or whatever it happens to be, and you'll lose a lot of money this way. So the simplest thing to go by is just, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. No one's giving away amazing things for free. And no one is doing this stuff out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing this to get money for themselves. So do yourself a favor and play the game right. When you try to take shortcuts, you will probably fail. You may get lucky, but luck cannot be taught or learned through any guru or anything like that. So instead of getting lucky, you should just follow the fundamentals for, good personal finance, good investing. Again, I'm going to be doing my rules for successful investing. I was able to turn $5,000 into over $120,000 in just a little over a year, which is absolutely surreal to me. And that almost sounds not real, but I was able to do that by trading very regularly, consistently, following a strict set of rules and not doing anything sketchy or, going for all these crazy things that are very obviously scams, in my opinion. And I don't consider myself to be an expert by any means, but as an amateur who has made mistakes, I've been scammed before, I've seen all this stuff now, I'm involved in it every day, all the time. I'd like to help you guys by you not having to make those same mistakes to get to where I am today. So again, I will be doing a investing video very soon for you guys to check out as well. And none of this is financial advice, so obviously do what makes sense for you. But at the end of the day, there's very obvious things that you should be aware of and look out for. And there's very simple steps to follow to not have these issues happen to you. So let me know, have you ever been scammed? Have you ever fallen for a crypto scam, stock scam, Forex, signals? Let me know your experience with that. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of scams commenting and responding to this, and maybe a few legit ones who are upset that I'm calling a lot of these scams. But at the end of the day, you're much easier to just avoid all of it instead of trying to sift through, 95%, which are scams, in hopes that you'll find the 5% that are legit, when you could just use all that time and energy and focus it on growing your wealth in a legitimate way over the long term, and really just, getting you to where you need to be. Because though I am investing for the long term, I'm getting these kinds of crazy results by just following the right ways to invest and not trying to take shortcuts. And I think that's very, very important. Let me know what you guys are doing. How are you making money? What scams have you been seeing lately? All that good stuff. Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching all the way to the end. Since you did, make sure to comment #1ham in the comments below so I know that you watched the whole thing. That would be fantastic to see. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. That is everything for today. And until next time, cheers.